Have you ever felt discouraged or disappointed after weighing yourself? Well, I sure have. In this video, I'm going to tell you some tips that I use, and hopefully they'll be of help to you whenever you feel disappointment or discouragement, whether it be when you're weighing yourself or whether it be any other time throughout your day. There's something else that goes on, but whenever you feel those feelings of discouragement and disappointment, I'm going to tell you about some things that I do. Maybe that'll be of help to you. And at the end of this video, though, since we're my discouragement, the thing that I'll be talking about is my weight journey, and that's where my discouragement has came this morning. And the feelings of discouragement wanted to creep in there. And if you want to know about my weight loss solution, then stick around to the end of the video, because that's then where I'm going to tell you about my weight loss solution. Well, let me start out by introducing myself. My name is Non-Monogamous Mark, and I'm the Executive Director and the co-founder to Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association. You see, at Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association, we work to help you to liberate yourself from conventional wisdom. And that conventional wisdom that, everybody else seems to follow the tide, and just go along with. And oftentimes it's how we're raised, and it's all the social norms that are all around us. But when we become non-monogamous, then we are taking power of our sex lives and our relationship lives, and what we do is help to empower you to use that power that you found to become non-monogamous. Also apply that same power to defy conventional wisdom in your life when it comes to your health, your sex life, and your standard of living. And so we'll talk more about that, but this video is going to be all about some solutions for your life so you can stay in this area what we call pure positive energy. You see, because your energy is your feelings, your thoughts, and your words. And as long as those three elements in your life are positive, then you'll continue to move in your life in a direction that's really great for you to go in. But if your energy and either your words or your thoughts or your feelings, or maybe all three of those, or two out of three of those, dips to the negative, then that's going to keep you from going where you want to be and where you want to go. And so the more you can stay in a place of pure positive energy, the more success that you can have in your life if you define success at getting the things in life that you want to have. And when it comes to looking at those scales, we look down there at the floor at our feet when we're stepping on those scales, and if you feel discouragement or disappointment and you slip into a place of negativity, well, discouragement and disappointment, those are feelings of negativity. And so that's not pure positive energy, and that will help, actually, it really contributes to keeping you from reaching your weight loss goal. From the point when I got married, my weight had gone up and up and up. And by the time I reached 49 years old, you see, when I was, 30 years before that, 19 years old, I was 145 pounds. But by the time I got to be 49 years old, I was 259 pounds. 110 pounds. That's a lot of weight. I'm 5'10", but I carry my weight well, and so it wasn't something where I didn't see myself as being really fat. I was overweight, I could tell that. But I didn't see myself as being really fat because I carried my weight really well. And I didn't look hugely fat. I had a belly, but other than just having a belly, you couldn't really tell because it was distributed evenly throughout my whole body. And so by the time that I turned 49 and I looked at those scales and I says, it is not going downhill from here. I'm going to turn this thing around. And that's what we call the trajectory. Take a look at where things in your life are headed. All the things in your life, are they headed in the direction you want them to head, or are they heading you somewhere else? If they're not heading you in a direction that you choose, that you really are excited about heading, you can turn it around. And so when I was 49 years old, I decided to turn that part of my life, and many others. That's when I became non-monogamous, and that's when I decided to turn my weight around as well. That's when I became a nudist, because I found that people who aren't ashamed of their bodies, people who go out into nudist parks and be socially nude and naked in front of other people, that actually helps them to feel better about their bodies and want to have their bodies look good. And so for me, it became a journey of wanting my body to look good again. And so I don't shy away from going out and hanging out with naked people, because there's plenty of naked people out there that look just like me. but there's also really naked people that don't look like me that are trim and fit. And so that keeps me motivated. And so I started when I was 49 years old. And then first thing I did is I went on the Atkins diet. Well, that's not a healthy diet, believe me, but I stuck with it for a year. And, stuck with it for a year, and I lost a lot of weight. I got down to 195 pounds. That's the lowest I could ever get. I was so excited to break that 200-pound threshold, because that's a hard line for me to break. And 200 pounds, I got below that, got to 195 pounds. And even my mother-in-law then noticed that my face was looking thinner. And so she commented, and I was excited to have her notice that my face was looking thinner. And but that didn't last long. See, when you go on a diet like that, it's just not sustainable. And so I don't want to go on a diet and do something that I'm not going to be able to sustain. But sure enough, I spent a year on the Atkins diet, and when I got down that 195, that was my low point. And then I thought, okay, well, now from here on, I'm just going to be really careful about eating and have a good diet. Well, and weight started to creep back on. I got it back up to 220 in no time flat. And when I got to 220, I says, okay, well, this has got to stop. And I started to try to, tune in and eat better. Well, even though I ate better, it didn't take the weight off. I'm somebody who just loves food. I eat too much, even if it's good food. Eat a salad. I don't just have a bowl or a plate of salad. I have a huge plate of salad because I just love to eat. And when I was a little kid, and I was over at Grandma's about once a week, and so my grandma would say, where do you put all that food? And she would just, dote on me, and she would give me attention, and boy, you must have hollow legs. And because I got attention then, I learned to eat lots of food. And so all my life, I have ate lots of food, and I have overate. And that became real evident to me when I met Kat. She, like myself, in her 25 years of marriage, she was divorced when I met her, and in her 25 years of marriage, though, she had gained 70 pounds. And so, marriage, weight gain. Maybe there's something to marriage that's causing this to happen. I don't know. But, so yeah, she gained 70 pounds over her years. And that's monogamous. Because oftentimes I'm finding that non-monogamous people are much more sensitive about how they look, because they want to look good for their partner or their partners, or they want to look good because maybe whether they're polyamorous or they're a swinger or have open relationship or have friends with benefits, they want to look good to be able to attract good-looking people. And so when you're monogamous, you really just stop caring, I guess, and you and your partner, because like in Kat's situation, her husband got really fat as well. In fact is, he died a couple of years ago because he got so fat he didn't even live to be 50 years old. And he died because he got so fat. And so, sad, yeah. Okay. But, there I was 49 years old, went on my diet, came off my diet, started gaining the weight again, went and did a juice fast, and were 30 days, did nothing but juicing. Yeah, I lost 15 pounds from that juice fast. But again, that wasn't sustainable. As soon as I came off the juice fast, weight started going back up again. So it was not something that was sustainable. And the juice fast was healthy. The Atkins diet was not. There's lots of things, though, that you can try to lose weight. And a lot of those things just simply aren't healthy. And those things that maybe are healthy, like my juice fast, that was really healthy. This green juice. It was just packed with nutrients and everything your body needed. So it was healthy, but it just was not sustainable. And so, those are some of the problems and challenges that I got involved over the years over the last 10 years, 12 years of my life, just trying to come to grips with losing some weight. And when I met Kat, she just eats a small plate of food. I mean, she eats a tiny little bit. And because when she got divorced, she decided that she was going to start losing some weight. And in fact, before she got divorced, she got started on her weight loss journey. And so one of the things that she noticed about her own food intake is that she was eating too much food. And so she had learned to cut back, and over time her stomach shrank, and so that she just really doesn't eat as much anymore. Because when we eat like I've always ate, and don't eat that way anymore, I'm also shrinking my stomach now, but where you just are packing the food in, that your stomach grows, and then that means that the next time you go to pack the food in, your stomach can stretch and grow a little more. Every time you have to loosen the belt a little bit or undo it so that your belly can be comfortable after that big meal? Well, your stomach is growing, and that's not a good thing. And my stomach grew and grew and grew. It was not a good thing. It wasn't good for my health. It meant that I could do less things in my life, and wasn't able to go out and be as active and as mobile and as agile, as I used to be. So I want to get back to that time where I have the agility and the energy and the activity. But the challenge is then how to get there. On May 23rd, I started a new weight loss journey, and I'll be telling you again, and at the end of the video, I'll be telling you about my weight loss solution, and that's sustainable and healthy. And I'm really excited to have found this. But so anyway, on May 23rd, I got started with this solution. And right away, because it's not a diet, and right away I noticed that my cravings had decreased, and so had my appetite, and I was eating less. And so I was excited about that. Chris then noticed that I was eating less, because I wasn't talking a whole lot about it necessarily, but and she noticed I was eating less, and I didn't know how much I'd lost or if I had lost any, because I didn't have a scale to weigh myself. And so she told me, she says, well, I just bought a new set of scales that's out in the car, and I'll bring it in. So she brought in the scales, and now this is 2.5 weeks after I started my weight loss journey here. Because May 23rd I started my journey, and 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks later, about 2 weeks later, she says, yeah, I've got a set of scales. And so I ended up weighing myself. That was my first feelings of discouragement and disappointment. And those feelings were there because when I looked down at the scale, and it's a digital scale, and it says 210.8. We'll just call that 210 pounds, right? That's how we do those things. And no, it's not 211 pounds. It's 210 pounds. And so, and who knows? Maybe it was over 210 pounds because I had already been on my new weight loss journey for 2 weeks, and I had, like I said, my cravings had disappeared, and I was feeling like I was losing weight. I was feeling like that, but I can't tell you that by the scales because I didn't weigh myself when I got started. And so, but there I was looking at the scales, and I was feeling discouraged. But see, that's the thing is that whenever you get to that place where any of those elements, your words, your thoughts, or your feelings tip into negative territory, you consciously can take control of that and change that and make sure that you're staying in that area of positive territory. Because if you're in negative territory, you're not going to get where you want to go. But if you're in positive territory, not only can you get where you want to go, you'll have a good time getting there. If you're in negative territory, hey, life is not a good time when you're in that negative territory. And so at Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association, we want to do all we can do to help you to live your life in a place of positive territory. Stay away from the negative territory. And so what did I do then when I looked at the scales and I saw myself weighing in at 210 pounds? Well, I have been practicing for a couple of years now, being intentional and being in charge of my own thoughts. And instead of having the automatic response come along, see, the auto thing comes along and this is discouragement. And then you keep going down that road and you have a little pity party for yourself. And maybe then you even go have a bowl of ice cream, and so who knows. But see, so you got to get back to that positive area. And I took charge of my thoughts, because your feelings are an outcome of your thoughts that have been going through your head over and over and over and over. And, and so my thoughts were that, 210 pounds, that's bad, And so that's why I was feeling bad and feeling discouraged and disappointed. And so I shifted my energy right back to the solution, not to the problem. I shifted my energy to the solution, and I got to that place right away of being positive where I was going at that point then. You see, because just like when you plan a vacation, you can get excited for months about planning that vacation. And even though you're not there, you haven't arrived yet, you are not actually there, but you know you're going. And it's that energy of knowing you're going that creates that excitement and that positive feelings, the positive words you tell your friends, and the positive thoughts that you have in your head. And so for me then, looking at the scale being 210 pounds, I had to shift my energy to the positive feelings, the positive thoughts, and the positive words of knowing where I'm going, And so that's what I did. I weighed myself then today. And sure enough, because you see, I'm so excited about being on this program and having the weight loss solution that I'll tell you about at the end of the video. I'm so excited about it. And I'm not having a diet. I'm not having to exercise because I've been down that road. Not having to do a juice fast and all those kinds of things that I have done before. And it's a healthy weight loss solution. And so I'm so excited about it that I got on the scales, and I just felt that, man, I probably lost a ton of weight. And I looked at the scales, 209. Ah, only a pound. I was discouraged and disappointed. But you know what? So again, I can go down that rabbit hole with that negative energy, but right away I took charge of my thoughts. And I realized, I says, well, wait a minute now. That's a whole pound. Actually, over a pound. That's a whole pound. You know, I'm still not having cravings, and I still have that reduced appetite. And so the product is just marvelous how it's working. And so I immediately shifted my energy back to that positive place, and realizing that yes, even a pound. And then I started to also realize what really has gone on in the last 2.5 weeks. Well, let's see. We like to go out to dinner on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday nights, but we try not to go out too much, but because it's not always healthy for us. But we did go out to the local casinos. We hadn't been out there in a long time, and they had prime rib buffet, all you can eat prime rib, and I do love my prime rib. And yes, I eat, and if you follow my videos, I eat 90% of the time. I eat a whole food, organic, plant-based diet. I'm not a vegan, but I believe it's healthier for me and to eliminate the fish and the dairy and the meat products totally, and the eggs and all that kind of stuff. Anything that's animal product is not healthy for your body. And so I fully believe animal products are not healthy for us. They taste good, but they're not healthy for us. And so I try to take at least 90 to 95% of the time, eat a whole food, plant-based diet that's also organic. And so, but then we went out and had that buffet, and I ate lots of food that I don't normally eat. I probably gained a couple pounds just there at that buffet. Of course, dessert came at the very end of it too. And I went out a couple times for breakfast, and I think once for lunch to a lunch buffet. And we found that by going to a buffet, there's always going to be something there that she and I can both have. Well, but the thing is, there's too much good stuff for me to pick. For me, I can eat anything and everything that I would want without getting sick. Now, in the long term, it certainly is going to make me sick and unhealthy. But in the short term, I'm not going to really notice any difference. I'm just going to notice how good it all tastes. And so a couple times then, we once went out to a lunch buffet, a couple times went out to breakfast, and then we went out and hit a prime rib buffet that 10-day period. So that's 2 prime rib buffets, which I don't normally do prime rib buffet, but maybe twice a year. But here, 2.5 weeks, I've had 2 prime rib buffets. I've had a lunch buffet. I've had breakfast out several times. I've had dessert multiple times, probably like 6 times I've had dessert in the last 2.5 weeks. And I haven't exercised. I've had pretty much my normal sedentary life, and where most of my time is spent in front of a computer. And you know what? I still lost 1 pound. And so, that's worth getting excited about. And so that's where I had to really focus on the solution that is happening, and focus on the 1 positive pound that I lost, because it would have been really easy to go down that rabbit hole of negativity with feeling that discouragement and that disappointment. But no, I shifted that energy, and I managed to stay in a place of pure positive energy. Well, as I promised at the beginning of the video, I'm going to finish off today telling you about my weight loss solution. It all started when I went to a swingers party about 2 months ago. And when I went to a swingers party, there was a guy there that we're sitting down they have a potluck meal, and they're sitting down eating a potluck meal. And the guy and I got to chatting, and he says, well, I've lost, I forget how many pounds he's lost. He says, I've lost X number of pounds, and is by a natural product that I simply drink a cup of coffee every day, and I'm losing weight. Now, I'm a coffee connoisseur. I love my coffee. And I says, you mean you just drink a cup of coffee every day? I've heard of this butter coffee that people have talked about that they put butter in it or something that has been good for weight loss. And I says, is it that? And he says, no, it's not that. It's because that's a fat and that's not healthy. And he says, this is a natural product, a natural weight loss. It's a healthy way to lose weight. And so he gave me a packet that looked just like this. And he gave me a packet, and he says, go ahead and just take that packet home and try it. And so I did. And I tried that packet, because I told him, I said, I'm a coffee connoisseur. I love my coffee. I drink typically 1 to 2 cups a day, but it's not just plain coffee. I am really picky about my coffee. And half the time at coffee shops and stuff like that, they have lousy coffee. It does not meet my taste, my preference for coffee. And so, because I mean, I've roasted coffee. I have a lot of history with coffee. And so anyway, I told him, I says, it doesn't matter what the product does. He says it speeds up your metabolism. And that's one of the things that I knew I needed to do, because of those diet programs and everything that I've been on over the years. They have slowed my metabolism down to next to nothing. And so I really needed to boost my metabolism. So he got my attention there. And I said, well, no matter how good the product's going to do my body, if the coffee doesn't taste good, though, I'm not drinking it. So he gave me a packet, and I went home and I drank it. And yeah, it's good coffee. And so once I found it's good coffee, I thought, well, maybe I should give that a try. And then I go out and buy the tub. And so here's the tub, and it's called Slim Roast Optimum Dark Roast Coffee by Valenta. Now, they just came out with this a year ago last May, and I tell you what, this company is tearing it up. In April, they did $6 million in sales. In May, they hit $7 million in sales. Like these little packets here, they can't make them fast enough. They run out of product, and their first priority is to fill in their customer orders for these products, and so that they make sure they're taking care of their customers before they're taking care of these little sample packs so they can get new customers. But they can't keep enough product in stock to fill these fast enough, and so the company is just growing, and they're growing over $1 million a month right now, and they're just smoking it. Because you see what this does is it's a natural formulation that they add with instant coffee. So you just add it with hot water, and like I said, it tastes pretty good. It really tastes good. And so you just add it with hot water, but it crushes your food and snack cravings. It increases your energy. It metabolizes your fat and turns it into energy. It increases your metabolism. It supports your blood sugar regulation. And it improves your mood, your focus, and your mental clarity. And on top of that, then it boosts your circulation, the blood flow throughout your body. It boosts your circulation and the delivery of oxygen throughout your body. And so that's like really amazing stuff that this stuff does. And just by drinking a cup of coffee every day, not going on a diet, not going out exercising, not doing any of the stuff out there that's good or bad, but where so much of it's just not good, and some of it is, if it is good, like my juice fast was good, but it's not sustainable, and so this is something that's sustainable, and people have lost a lot of weight. And so I started actually thinking, yeah, I'd like to start taking that coffee. And so I was on it for that 2.5 weeks, and I weighed myself, and then I got, this is a 1 month supply, and 1 pound loss, and it really is amazing. Instead of gaining weight, for what I've kind of put my body through, the food I put through my body for the last 2.5 weeks. And so this is now my solution for weight loss, because it's sustainable. Drink a cup of coffee, and they say drink 1 to 2 cups a day, no more than 2 though. But drink a cup of coffee and you're good. And so I'm very excited about that, and I've actually then become a distributor. And I'm going to go ahead and make 20 6-packs of these available. And that'll give you a chance to go ahead and try 6 cups of coffee using these little packets and see how the results that you get from this. But if you're wanting to try it, then my recommendation is to go out there and once you watch this video, click on that link in the description. Click on that link right now and go over to the website and get yourself in line to get. So I'm going to be able to 20 people getting these packets. It's a 6-pack. That's 120 packets, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and 20 people are going to be able to get 6 cups to try, and that's 1 a day for 6 days is what I want you to try. 1 cup of coffee a day for 6 days. Now, if you're not a coffee drinker, they also have this in hot chocolate, hot cocoa. And so go ahead and click on that link then, like I said, and get yourself in line. After the first 20 are gone, I'll tell you when more is available. But so right now, go on and click on that link so that you can get in there to get one of those 6-packs for yourself. if you want to do that. Now, if you're watching this video 6 months after I've made it and after it's been relaunched, or a year or 2 or 3 years, then go ahead and click on that link, and hopefully we'll have the product available for you, but you'll be able to get some. But don't delay on ordering it and trying it out for yourself, because you're going to like it. Thanks a lot.